Okay, so this is my little FZR 6. I've been calling it an FZR 6 because it kind of looks like an R6 and it's an FZR, so I just kind of mixed them together. But anyway, this is it now after a roofing company dumped like 300 pounds of shingles and stuff on it. Crap, I still got stuff on the triple tree. I have to get that off. And my muffler, I haven't ridden it in a while. This happened like 3 months ago. So I've just been slowly working on it little by little, and fixing scratches and dings and just sanding it down. But anyway, so the purpose of this video is just I've gotten a lot of questions about like how I put the tail on the bike. What did I do about the reservoir? Let's see, what else? Where did I get my turn signals? And I don't even remember all the questions. I'm just gonna go through everything really quick, how I did everything. Hopefully I can do it in 5 minutes because that's all the memory I have in my card to do the video. So first things first, this tank, it's 10 times, literally it's 10 times easier to use the YZF 600, not R6. It's the YZF 600, also known as the Thundercat. They made them from 96 to 2007, I think, but it's 10 times easier to use the gas tank off of that. Also, it matches the contour of the frame a lot easier. Comes to about the same distance, not the same distance, comes to about the same, it stops about the same place that my R6 tank stops at. I just like the way this looks better because if you're looking at it at this angle, the YZF 600 tank goes up about here and then cuts down, so it gives the bike, it just looks out of place. It looks like it gives it a hump back, and I never really liked that, so I went with the R6 tank. It's so much harder to put on, but I love the way it looks on the bike just compared to the YZF 600 tank, which looks good on the YZF 600, but it just doesn't look right on the FZR. So okay, so this is from a 99 to 02 carbureted R6. Don't use a fuel-injected tank. There's a difference in the fuel pumps, and it's got a send and a return line. You have to make a block-off blade and put a different fuel pump on and all this stuff. It's just easier just to use the 99 to 02. So this front bracket here, that's the R6 tank bracket. I had to grind off a pretty good bit. It used to come out to about right there, so I grinded off all that, drilled holes through it, and it mounts in. This used to be the mount for the headlight fairing stay, or the front fairing stay and the headlight mount and all of that. There's a rear half to it that bolts in behind the mirrors. It separates from behind the mirrors and bolts in there. You don't need it. I took it off. I never had any problems. The fairing still stayed straight and it didn't fall off while I was going down the freeway, so it's fine. So I bolted that in there, used that front tank bracket. It's fine. It's aluminum, grind it down. You don't have to worry about painting it. You can just sand it, shine it up if you want to. And on the back I used, this is bed frame. This is part of a bed frame, also known as angle iron. I've got this where it holds it, like the seat latches in. It slips in this way and then locks down back here. Not really locks down, but you bolt it in back here, and this little lip holds the seat down. It's welded, it's solid. If you know a welder, they could probably make up one of these just by looking at it. But just to give you guys the dimensions of this, this is a little over an inch. That's the height that I needed. Actually, it was like 1 1/8 height, and it's angled back just a little bit, just a hair. Maybe I guess 100 degrees. Like if 90 degrees is like a right angle, that would be just probably like 95 or 100, just a little bit, bent forward, or yeah, forward towards the front of the bike. This is almost 2 inches. Width doesn't really matter. This bracket is already attached to the R6 tank. It's welded in. You get the tank like that. I just made little stubs that came up, and you bolt them in right there. And you come back. This is more bed frame angle iron. I made little grooves because on the bottom of the seat there's these 2 grooves that sit in, so it's perfect. You bolt it in, and even though these little mounts are plastic on the seat, it holds the seat down into these little grooves so it doesn't slip side to side. Okay, here is just regular flat bar. Okay, so the dimensions of this, you got 2 inches, 2 inches high, and the location, the exact location of this, if you guys can see in here, in this little, I don't know, it might not be showing up on my little crappy Sony camera, but if you could see in here where I have my regulator mounted, that's the old seat mount. So it's, if you go back until the old seat mount, like the flat metal bar that has all the little holes and stuff in it, where that ends, that's where you should put this. And you put it you have to angle it in the front. The front of this is just a little bit, sorry, point back. The front of this is a little bit higher than the back. So keep that in mind. This hole, there's a little knob on the bottom of the rear seat that locks down, or not locks down, it slips into the hole. I can't even, such a long day at work, I can't even think. Okay, so more bed frame, angle iron, angles back. I don't even know the angle that it goes back, but you can see how when I cut the metal, I cut it at an angle so that the undertail would follow the same curve. And then this goes up more 2-inch flat bar, and it fits inside the tail, and it has this little knob here that sits in the little hole in the tail fairing. Flat bar underneath. This is actually for the under there is the well, what will be the license plate light whenever I make one. Put a little LED, some little bright LEDs under there or something. I don't know. I'm still working on. I'm still in the planning stages. I haven't even put that on yet. It's gonna be a while before I ride this again. Well, hopefully not too long. Reservoir has been plastic welded. I mentioned that in the other video. It's just a hacked up stock FZR reservoir. I melted it, I fused the plastic back together and sealed it with super glue so that it would, because there's tiny pores that are there. And last thing, before I run out of memory, you can see how much of the tail the undertail I had to cut away for this to fit.